What's up, folks? I'm Dwayne.
I'm Alicia.
And this is Blackboard Gaming, where we teach you about all these great board games that are out there,
waiting to be played by you and yours. I'm a simple man, don't wanna complicate you.
Hey, everybody! So, last week, my high school class celebrated their 40th high school reunion.
It was my 40th too, but I just went to a different high school.
Yeah, she went to a rival high school.
I went to the number 1 high school.
No. It's still, no. I let you tag along, so don't mess that up. You knew I was going to take her anyway. But we ended up doing a cruise to the Bahamas. So we spent a few days down in Hollywood, Florida, and then we went on a cruise to the Bahamas, which was really, really fun. Now, of course, we're not here to do a travel blog.
He can't leave home without board games.
Yeah.
So even though we were going on a tropical cruise, to a tropical island, he smuggled some board games on board.
Yeah, you knew I had to, because I'm always looking for opportunities to show people some board games. So we're here not to talk about all the board games that I took. We're here to talk about a specific board game.
Today we're going to talk about Seaside.
Seaside is designed by Brian Burgoyne and published by Randolph and Hachette Games. Now, the reason I want to talk about this game is because since we were going to where there were beaches, the designer said he got the idea to make this game while on vacation on a beach.
So, let's go to the beach for a brief overview of how this game is played.
The sun is shining as a light, salty wind sends cottony clouds scudding across the sky. Sandpipers filling their bellies with strange insects, crabs hiding under piles of rocks, seashells washed up on the sand, curling waves that break along the beach. Nature in its simplest beauty. One token at a time, create your seaside with the elements the sea sends your way. To set up the game, we would take all 70 of these wooden tokens and we're going to place it inside this bag. And then the last person to have wet their feet in the sea will be chosen as the first player, and they will get the bag. So on a player's turn, they're going to draw a token from this bag. And when they draw that token, they're going to decide which side they're going to play it on. They're going to do that secretively. And then what side they play it on is going to dictate which part of the play area they're going to place it in. So if you look down here, this blue area, if you play it on this side, this goes into the sea, which will be in the middle of the play area. And then if you look here at the bottom, they got this the white area. This is going to go into that player's seaside. And then that action is going to pop off. And I'll get into those actions right now. So we have crabs, we have isopods, and we have seashells. And as you see, all these have those blue area on the token, which means those tokens are going to go into the sea, which is the middle of the play area. And then this action is going to go off, which means that the player is going to immediately take another turn. Some of the sides have sandpipers, and as you can see, and it's what dictated by this little white area, which means I'm going to place it onto my play area, which is my seaside, if I choose this side. So let's say I go ahead and do that, and then I will activate that action, which means I could take any number of isopods from the sea and place it up under that sandpiper, like so. So moving forward, whenever I get another sandpiper, I want to make sure all my sandpiper stacks are the same height, because if they're not, the one that has the least number is going to be discarded, which means removed from the game. So let's say later on in the game, I had that isopod there, and I decided to play this sandpiper here. Now, if I take that isopod, it's only going to be 2 chips, 2 tokens in that stack, which is the one I had previously placed is 3. So this sandpiper and that isopod will be removed from the game. But let's say I wait later and this isopod comes out and then I get this sandpiper. So now I can play this sandpiper onto my Seaside and I can grab these 2 isopods. And you could grab any number of them. So if I had a stack with 1 sandpiper and 1 isopod, I could just, and I had 2 isopods in the play area, when I played the sandpiper, I could just grab one of those isopods. Some of the tokens have the beach on them. And as you can see by that area, you will be playing this onto your Seaside and then activate that action. So if I play this into my Seaside, I can grab the number of shells equal to the number of beach tokens that I have on my Seaside. So since I only got 1 beach token, I would just get 1 of these shells, even though there's 3 of them. So I would place that on my Seaside. The thing is, these beach tokens stack. So like I said, let's say later on I got another beach token, I will play that down. Now I will get a number of shells equal to the number of beach tokens. So I will be able to get both of these seashells right here, and I will keep them in 1 stack. Some of the tokens have waves, and as you can see, this is going to be played onto my Seaside, and then we're going to activate that action. So remember earlier I said once you choose a side, it's going to stay on that side until another action dictates different. And this is one of those, this is that only action that does that. So this action says that I have to turn over one of my beach tokens and then do that action. So if I turn this over, it gives me another wave, and that tells me to turn over another beach token. And if I do this, then that means this isopod, I got to play that back into the sea, and then I get to activate that action, which means I get to take another turn. Lastly, we have these rocks, and as you can tell, these go onto your Seaside. So when I place this into my Seaside, nothing happens. As you can see, it has this crab, but that doesn't go off by itself. But if I get another rock, when I get a pair of rocks rather, then I am able to grab all the crabs from the sea, because crabs like to be hidden under rocks. So I get to grab all these crabs, and they scurry up on these rocks, and then you get to take a crab from another player. So I also take this crab from this player here and place it into my play area. The game will end when this bag is completely empty of tokens. And then before we figure out who the winner is, we will first find out who had the most wave tokens. And whoever has the most waves, they will be able to collect all the tokens that are left in the sea. If there's a tie, then we will divide those tokens up evenly, rounded down. And then the players will stack up all their tokens, and whoever has the highest tower of tokens, which pretty much means the most tokens, will be the winner of Seaside. So there you have it, a teach on the beach.
He couldn't help himself.
I mean, I couldn't, because I mean, when we went on the cruise or went to Florida, I was like, this would be a great. We're around a bunch of beaches, so I was like, that would be cool if I could teach this game while on the beach. I mean, I wanted to do the whole video on the beach, but
it did rain.
Yeah, it was, the
Our
weather.
whole trip wasn't a wash, but it did rain.
So I'm just glad I got this in.
Me too.
So we're just going to tell you if we have what we liked about the game, what we didn't like, and if we had fun. So what did you like about this game?
Well, I really like the simplicity and the elegance. I think the game is just elegant.
Yeah, I love these wooden tokens.
They are. The art on the wooden tokens is charming, and the roundness is just. It's simple, but again, it's elegant and it's classy.
Right. And now, when I first, we picked this up at Origins, and I was worried, like, I knew it was wooden tokens, but I was like, when wood gets wet, and it sometimes wood expands and it might crack. But these tokens have like a shine.
A veneer.
Yeah, on them. So they're waterproof, pretty much. And like I said, when I did the teaching the sand, the sand just came right off.
Yeah.
So I was really cool with that. And like you said, I enjoy the simple and elegance of these tokens.
Yes, the art is charming. And it's just I don't know, it's just the elegance and gracefulness about this game.
Yeah, and like, I just really had fun because it's a quick filler game, and I love the strategy of when you pull them tokens out, and you might get another turn when you place tokens back into the sea.
No,
You know?
I think it's more a push your luck than strategy game.
Yeah. Well, okay. Yeah. Now, speaking of push your luck, is there anything you didn't like about this game?
It's a push your luck game. I mean, this is a quick get it in where you can fit it in
Yeah.
game. It's not a lot of strategy. It's more push your luck, but it's fun.
Yeah, I like, even though it's pushing your luck when you draw that token, but you do have the option of which side you're going to place the token on. And so then you place that token down. And I just really like that it's just a simple game. I think the toughest part is making sure you're wrapping your head around how the tokens score.
I think that it's not so many pieces that it, like, if you've never played this new genre of games, it might take a little longer, but I think it's simple enough, and even though you have to think about it, it's not super thematic, but the way the pieces score makes sense.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it is an abstract game.
It's abstract, but the way you got to get 2 rocks for a crab.
Yeah.
That makes sense. So
yeah,
it's
I like
not
that.
a stretch.
I also like the fact that if you get one of them wave tokens, that represents the water coming in, washing away the beach. So you got to flip over one of your beach tokens. So I think the theme comes through in that way.
Those ways.
But it's just
but
an
also,
abstract game.
it makes sense.
Yep.
So it helps you understand how the game works.
Yeah, so did you have fun?
Yes, I did.
I am so glad I was able to do this.
Yeah.
I really did have fun. And we only played it just 2 players, so I'm interested, maybe at the next board game meetup, we play with 3 or 4 more players.
Yes.
I mean,
yes.
3 or 4 players or whatever, just to see how the strategy comes out.
I don't know, and we would have to do it, but because of the way you you play with only so many based on how many players you have, so I don't know that it would be that different.
I think it would be, because there were some times when I pulled out, I knew you had a rock, and I didn't have any rocks. So if I pull out a token and it's a crab, I'm like, all she needs is another rock to get a bunch of crabs. So I'm like, do I put it on the side of the crab? So I'm always looking at what you got, and that's going to dictate what I play. Like,
but you're
I don't
saying
want to do
if
that.
it was more
players is,
okay,
a little bit different.
Okay, that makes sense.
So, but overall, this is a really, really fun game. You could play it anywhere.
It's light.
Very light, very quick.
And honestly, I think that you could play this game with kids.
I think so too. Once they figure out the scoring process.
Yes.
All right, so there you have it. Seaside. We really like this game. Now, if you like the contents of this video, feel free to hit the like button, subscribe.
Follow us on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter.
And I'm Dwayne.
I'm Alicia.
This has been BlackBoardGaming.
We will see you next time.